Good morning. I have a little message to my divine feminines, ladies who identify with twin flame journey, a bit of a channeled message. So, a lot of you guys, to a certain extent, sooner or later, at some point of this journey, you start to complain a little bit. Well, some do it more in an energy of complaining, some in an energy of whining, some in energy of wondering, however you want to describe it. But you reach that point when you start to think, why is he behind? Why is he not growing? Why there is no progress? How much it's going to take, right? And if you've watched my masterclass, I have a Divine Feminine masterclass available free on YouTube that really explains all the core things related to this journey and everything you need to know on this journey. There's actually 2 episodes that talk about the phases and the stages of this journey. One just describes all the phases, and the other one compares how do we go through this journey, how the masculine goes through this journey. So if you watch that, you would know that we cannot heal in the same time because we're one soul, one consciousness, and we have to sort of cover, right, different things on this journey. And obviously there's a moment of this journey that we heal, both of us, but that really heavy healing, that really heavy dark night of the soul, sort of a pain, overwhelmed. It cannot happen for both of us simultaneously because we have to, consciously or not, hold space for ourselves through this process, right? We're teamwork. We're always doing teamwork. So in the beginning of this journey, the feminine starts. We go through dark night of the soul. We go through pain, through just this horrible obsession, the Lulu, complete madness. And our masculine, in the same time, he's in a deep denial. He's under a very thick veil. He couldn't really care less. Of course, he's already activated to a certain extent. He feels that we're different than all other women. There are deep feelings and emotions being developed and coming to the surface because our soul recognize each other. But he's in deep denial. So he's not going to want it. He's going to be running away. He's going to be connecting to other women. He's going to be convincing himself that this is just lust, that this too shall pass. I'm going to forget about this lady, whatever, right? And the reason it happens, and I've explained this in my masterclass, is because as long as you're energetically pulling him in, as long as you're energetically longing and chasing, you are not healed. So he has to stay in a mode of rejection and denial so you can heal. And then once you heal, and you may still be continuing your work and, healing towards, your mission and preparing for your mission. But that thickest layer is sort of a done. This is where he has the energetic space to start his healing. So the moment he's going to be going through his dark nights of the soul, oh my God, what have I done? This woman is the other half of my soul. I love her, whatever, I have to heal. This is where you are already almost or at the other side of the bridge, because now you have the energetic space to deal with it because you're already healed. And it's to understand it more, you can also watch my video about telepathy. It will explain this a little bit as well. So what I want you to remember, wherever you are in this journey, because I get so frustrated when I hear my ladies saying, but how long is it going to take? How long he can be healing? I've been already healed, right, for so long. He's not behind. It's an illusion. And I've done a lot of content about the illusions of the twin flame journey. It's one of the episodes as well. I also have an attunement and a package to heal that. But it's one of the illusions. He's not behind. He was just waiting and holding space for you to do your thickest layers of healing so you can hold space for him. So what I want you to remember, whenever you question and judge him, how long is it taking, ask yourself, how long did it take you? Because I see such a different approach in my feminines, right? So some feminines, the moment they realize they're on a journey, they really jump on horse. They start to have regular sessions with their shadow workers. I have ladies who come every 3 weeks. Every next session that we have, they literally done everything that I told them to do. They really hands-on when it comes to healing. They really fierce. They really doing the work on a daily basis, right? So usually if you do come on sessions with your shadow worker, you would know that you're going to get your assignment, you're going to get your homework, right? These ladies always book the next session. They, when they have questions, when something is, maybe rising into their energy in between sessions, they reach out to me because they want to understand, because they want to know, they want to grow. That hyperachiever syndrome in the best way, right? And then there are ladies who, they don't have regularity. They come on session, when they feel like it. So sometimes it's going to be every month, but then they're going to forget about it. They're going to sign up in 2 months. They come on sessions and, things that we talked about previously, they haven't really been processed. They haven't really been done. They're not reaching out in between sessions to sort of maintain that flow of healing with no questions. So again, I'm not saying this to you guys to sort of say that the first option is better, because I truly believe that subconsciously, on a level of a soul, our soul knows our timeline. Obviously, our soul knows, and our date is written in the stars. And I always say this to you guys. Yes, we can prolong this journey by repeating cycles, but not really doing certain things, certain healing, right? But the best case scenario, so whether the separation is going to be 2 years or 4 years or 6 years, your soul knows. So sometimes you subconsciously, you go at your own pace, right? And it's okay. So if you don't feel like it, I always say this to you guys, it's a dangerous thing, because in the beginning we do have to force ourselves to heal, because nobody likes that. Nobody likes doing, mother wound and father wound. Nobody likes having these sessions, every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, because in reality, yes, every session I will tell you how your energy changes and how much you shine, but we are going to be focusing on shadows. Until there are shadows, we're going to be focusing on shadows, right? So it's not a walk in a park. It's hard work. We have to dedicate ourselves to this work if we want this work to one day be over, right? So you will feel into how you want to approach this, right? And I know it's easy to say, because I myself was that hyperachiever. When I started this journey, I was on my shadow work session every 2 weeks for a couple of months. And I also had shamanic healing sessions, past life regression sessions. And then after a few months, I felt a bit of a release, and I started having my sessions every 3 weeks. And every 3 weeks, I would have one session with shadow worker, one session with my healer, right? So for me, I really jumped on it, right? Jumped on that horse, and everything that my shadow worker, my healer would say to me, I would do. Even when I was shaking, even when it was scary, even it was so, and I would, you guys, I know that those first years, we spent every day crying. Every day. We cannot with ourselves. We cannot with the longing, with the separation. We cry every day. Shadows are emerging to the surface, memories, past life memories, childhood traumas. It's so painful. So I understand that not everyone is going to have that determination. It's also the level of your masculine quality, right? The masculine quality of your masculine energy. Not everyone will have that determination. I find that there are many feminines that they needed breathers. Sometimes they need few months of a breather. Sometimes some feminines few years, when they get into this mindset, I don't want it, I don't want him, I don't want this journey, I want to be aligned with a soulmate, right? And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because the fact that I myself didn't have those moments, it must have been my guides helping me, because I remember that my moment, I want a soulmate, right? We had this moment when he pissed me off so much, and I was like, I want to be aligned with a soulmate. I deserve better, right? You guys, I kid you not, it lasted 2 hours. After 2 hours, I was back in the game. Nah, I love my twin, right? And similarly with the breather, I had a moment when I was so overwhelmed, so exhausted, I couldn't function, I was crying, I really wanted to jump off the bridge, I kid you not. So I asked my healer for a bit of a breather, for a bit of energetic support. It lasted 2 days and I was back in the game, right? So we all have different pace on this journey. We all have different ways to manage with it because we're different souls. We have different frequencies, we're different avatars, we have different experiences. And it also ties very strongly into our mission, because that separation is a healing journey, but it's also a preparation for our mission, right? So I'm not saying you should force anything. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday on my stories when we were talking about the balance between forcing and not procrastinating, right? So I don't want you to like judge yourself or force yourself. Do it at your own pace. You will feel into it. But I want you to realize two things. Thing number one is that twin flames are meant to be in union. The plan of our soul, and I don't care what anyone says, I'm a reader whose mission is to guide twins into union. I have a variety of downloads about this. I swear to you on my ancestors, our souls, when you get activated to the journey, it's because your soul believes that you're going to get there. And the objective is to get into union and walk your path together and your mission together. However, not everyone gets there. Not everyone gets there because people give up, because people, everything that I've just mentioned, because it's hard. It's a difficult journey, right? So if you want to get there, you have to dedicate yourself to it. You really have to put in that work. You really have to find a balance between I have my own pace and I have to do it and I have the right to do it in a way that is comfortable to me. But I also understand that this is a hard work. And because my soul chose it, it means my soul believed I would be able to make it and I would be able to do that, right? No one said it would be easy. We're talking here about one of the greatest prize that a human being can achieve and can be given in this life. Full alignment, full awakening, full tapping into your own authenticity and the frequency of your soul. So few of us is granted one of the journeys that can get you there. And on that twin flame journey, you're not only getting that awakening truth, seeing through the veil, living a life of peace, of alignment, of fulfillment, of happiness. But you get to do that with your companion, forever companion, ultimate companion, right? With your divine counterpart. It's a price like no other. You really think it's going to be easy? You really think you're just going to do like 2 shadow work sessions and that's it? It has to be, and it's not universe testing us. It's universe showing to us that, that through challenge we grow, through challenge we prepare ourselves to hold that space, to hold that frequency, right? So again, no one said it would be easy. You have to accept that. No one said that would be easy, but the prize, and you are the prize. The prize is wonderful. Is beyond your wildest dreams and expectations. I can promise you that. So you have to accept that it's gonna be hard. Your soul chose it because your soul believes you can make this. So that's one thing that you need to remember. And the second thing I want you to remember, you can have your own pace. You can have your own, ways of doing things so they're comfortable for you. That's absolutely fine. But don't judge your masculine. Don't judge the other half of you, because if you decide that your journey of healing, you're going to take your own pace, you're gonna be coming to a shadow work session every 3 months or every 2 months, and you're going to be repeating a couple of these sessions because you're not going to be doing the things that your shadow worker told you to do, and everything that I mentioned in the beginning. If your journey of healing, that I always say to you guys, has 3 stages: up the bridge, down the bridge, in your garden. So however long it took you to get to that garden, 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, now you're going to have to give the exact same amount of time to your masculine, because he also has the right to have his own pace, right? So you cannot have this mindset of, I don't want to say lazy, because again, I don't want to be like criticizing you here. I say this with love, you guys, but you cannot be like, I need breathers. I don't want it. I don't want to be healing. I don't want to be doing these exercises. This is painful. But when you finally reach there and you get that, you get there and you reach that moment, be it in 4 or 5 years, now suddenly you're going to be like, oh, I'm already here. I'm already healed. Where is he? No. Now he's going to take his 5 years to do that. And obviously I'm simplifying because, again, there's a part of healing that happens, simultaneously as we cross that bridge. They already start, and it's not like literally A to B and B to C, right? Sort of a dependency, but it's pretty much that. It's pretty much that. So whatever time, and I'm not, you would know this in your heart. For some of you, this message is going to be a push, and you're going to be like, okay, let's do this, let's go, right? I'm really going to put myself and my heart and my soul into it. And I always say this, in the beginning, he's going to be your motivation. And then as you cross the bridge, you're going to be your motivation. You're going to realize that you are the prize, but you are the prize and he is the prize because he is you and you are him, right? But yeah, I just want you to realize that, because I find that many feminines, in the beginning, they cannot accept that we're not healing simultaneously because it's too much for the soul. And then once they cross the bridge, they start to have that entitlement. Where is he? Why is he not healing? Or how long did it take you, baby? How long did it take you? Why would you expect that you are him and he is you? So why would you now expect for him to do this in no time when it took you 5 freaking years? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a little channel that I had, and I was guided to say this to you guys. So maybe some of you need to hear that. And as always, if you need support on this journey, first of all, I have so much content on my YouTube, starting from Divine Feminine Masterclass, available free. I also have some additional tools, self-help tools on my website that you can purchase from my website, including my shadow work oracle cards. And if you need support, you can also sign up for a session, because whether you gravitate towards me or another healer, I always say this, I cannot imagine going through this journey without having someone to hold space for you on a regular basis, going for sessions regularly, and having that healer for you to support you and hold that space for you in between your sessions. And the more work you do, the less you will need these sessions. So once you reach that end of the bridge, your shadow worker will give you that graduation medal and say, now you're good to go. You've activated your inner guru. But until that time, the more help you can get, the better. So I just wanted to I wanted you to realize that, because again, many feminists come to me asking why some separations are 3 years and some, on average, it's 3-4 years on average, right? Minimum 2 years. But some feminists come and say, why some separations are 3 years and why some separations are 8 years. Well, here's why. And again, we do have our own individual timeline and our individual story that links to our mission. But many people do repeat cycles. And that's exactly the reason why. We're the strongest souls. We're the oldest souls, right? So you wouldn't really expect that there's going to be no challenge. It's hard. It's for hyperachievers. It's for those that have drive. It's for those that have ambition, right? To really conquer this journey. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. If you need me, you know where to find me. I love you so incredibly much. Hold on. Your soul knew you could do this, and you can do this, right? I love you.